Thanks for tuning into the latest episode of Words with Michelle, the podcast. This is my first video podcast. Yes, I finally did it. I am still working on a studio, mind you, so enjoy the virtual background. Today's episode is called In Conversation with Karen Robinson of Schitt's Creek as well as Law and Order Toronto. Yes, don't ask me how this happened. Actually, I will tell you how this happened. In August, I went to the Cribbin Street Festival, hosted by a previous guest on the podcast, Grace Cameron. And who did I spot at the festival? Well, I saw Karen Robinson. So I got up, walked over to her, and started talking to her. We sat down to and continued our conversation. We spoke for about an hour, about everything about food, about doubles, the Trini snack. So we spoke for about an hour, and then I thought, I'm going to shoot my shot. I really want her on my show, so I'm going to just do it. So I said, I really want to interview you. Do you want to be on my show? And Karen said yes. We followed up and we made it happen. So in today's episode, you're going to listen to our conversation and we speak about everything from her time on Schitt's Creek, her current role on Law and Order Toronto, and we speak about Toronto, and as well we do speak about some foods from Trinidad. So I hope you enjoy it. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as the YouTube channel. Thanks, y'all. Now let's welcome Karen Robinson to the show. Thanks for being a guest, Karen.
You have worked and worked consistently.
Yeah, you're shocked. I'm shocked. My parents, God bless them, they were shocked. I'm not sure that there's anybody out there who wasn't shocked. Because, I mean, it is such a precarious industry, right? The very idea that, it's a black woman, immigrant, and certainly not fitting, society's definition of what is considered screen worthy or even stage worthy, should just sort of put one foot in front of the other over 35 years and then at the end of it end up with this resume. I mean, and I didn't even think that I don't think that I planned it this way. I didn't have a 5 year or a 10 year or even a 20-year plan. My only plan was that I was going to be able to take care of myself. I didn't know what that entailed. I knew what I loved to do and I knew what I was good at, but I also knew that if this didn't work out, I was going to find another way to take care of myself. I was not going to become a burden on anybody, especially not those two back there because they would not have put up with it. So
Oh, so your parents are right over there? Your parents are
yeah,
there?
they're the portraits, right?
Oh, the portraits. Oh, nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice.
So yeah, it really I realize how very blessed I've been, and by no means does that mean that it didn't come with its challenges. It didn't come with its seemingly insurmountable mountains. Didn't come with its disappointments or even periods when I thought I would never work again. It came with all of that, but then 35 years later, here I am.
Wow. When did you get hit with the or bitten by the acting bug? Like when did that happen?
Um, that's a very good question. I can tell you when I knew without a doubt that, when I thought I knew anyway, because what do you know when you're 16?
Hmm.
But when I at least said it to myself, this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. And that was about a year after I'd moved to Canada, and I had been, yeah, I oh, who does this? You move from Kingston, Jamaica to Drumheller, Alberta, and you just hear about the school play, and you go and you audition because what the hell? And then you get the lead part, and there's some people who don't love that you got the lead part, whatever, you get the lead part, and then you win some kind of Best Actress award or something, and then you get a scholarship to this thing called Arts Trek, which was this 2 week intensive in Vermilion, Alberta, where I just went and got to sing and act and make up stuff and make masks and with with a bunch of other young people. That's all we did for 2 weeks. And on the Greyhound bus coming back from there, I was, overcome with emotion about over what I had just gone through. And I remember saying to myself, yep, this is what I'm going to be doing. Now, having said that, I wasn't the only person, and I remember this because we were all sort of saying it. And so I know that I wasn't the only person on that bus that said it. And I'm also not the only person on that bus who saw it through, but there are other people on that bus who didn't
Mm.
with their lives. It wasn't what they were meant to do. So I don't know why. I don't know why me. So that is the official answer.
Mm.
I think though it started before that. I was the fourth out. I was a baby of four children, and I was very short for a long time. My father even ended up taking me to the doctor and going, "Why she won't grow? I don't understand why she won't grow."
Excuse me.
and,
Wow.
and yeah, but when you're the baby in a family of four, you kind of have to, find creative ways to be heard. And I think that's when like the imagination took hold. It wasn't always welcome. You know what I'm saying? Like my
Mhm.
parents were pretty like, oh no, not in this house.
Oh my God.
Um, but yeah, I think even then it was, and also because I had the freedom. I don't know about you, but because I was the last one out of four, I didn't have as many rules and restrictions as strongly imposed on me as my three older siblings. So I would just like if there was any choir or any, Louis Bennett poetry, whatever, or like I was just free to sort of explore all these interests or artistic interests that I had because my parents were like, and eventually she's gonna go to university and become a lawyer. And yeah,
Did you
yeah,
go to
that
university?
didn't happen.
Did you
Yeah.
end up going? Did you actually go to school or
Oh yeah, I
after?
did. I did. I ended up going to starting out at Mount Royal College, which is now Mount Royal University in Calgary. And then I transferred to the University of Calgary. And the interesting thing is that neither of those institutions have an acting program anymore.
What did you take?
Not any, well, they had acting programs back then.
Oh, okay. Mhm.
Since then, they've gotten rid of them. As
Oh, they
far as
gotten rid of them.
oh yeah,
Oh.
y'all, all right, y'all can at me and and tell me if I'm wrong about that, but yeah, that's what I understand.
Oh no.
So yeah, I
Wow.
did go to school.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
I was just saying because I wasn't sure if that's where your path was heading, or because I mean, obviously you've been acting like for the longest time, which
For
is
the
amazing.
longest time. And as a matter of fact, my sister, one of my sisters, keeps reminding me that when graduation time came up, because it was really, I mean, we didn't know if I was going to graduate. Because I mean, go to school is sure I was enrolled. Whether or not I showed up consistently is a
That's
whole different
awesome.
story. So anyway, so apparently when I finally made it through and and my name was on that graduation roll, my father flew all the way from Jamaica to come up because in his words, this I have got to see. And and to add insult to
Wow.
industry, my sister was graduating with her MBA at the same time. So she thought that he came up for her and he was like,
Wow.
no, love you and everything, but no, Karen getting her back. And I have got to see this.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yes.
But you know what? That's okay because my first year university, I didn't go to class. I mean, like I was too excited. Like I was just kind of like too much
What were
stimuli
you
for me
excited about?
because I came from a Catholic high school, and
Okay.
I felt like always like you're kind of like you can't be free to express. And when I went to university, I felt very open to like meet new people. I was just like information overload. Like I'm just easily stimulated. Like I'm just like a lot of stimuli. Like just too much for
Yeah.
me.
That's a wonderful thing about university, though. I really felt like I went to university and met the world.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Being part of the International Students Association and and so many people gravitated there and they came with all their stories and foods and and immigration tales and religions, and it was so eye-opening for me. Yeah, it was really wonderful, and it stayed with me throughout my entire life. I actually credit that with sort of like my what I hope is my uh, uh, relatively wide vista of what this world is supposed to, as opposed to, like with Catholic school upbringing,
Yeah,
there's certain things that you do and there's certain things that you don't do in certain ways, and there's only one God. And these people were like, actually, and I was like, wow.
exactly. So do you attribute any of that to any of your acting? Like, do you can you take from that to any, I guess, to any roles? Like just the way your eyes were open? Like, does that serve you in any of your positions, any of your roles, I should say, or no?
I hope so. Not in any way that I'd be able to delineate particularly
Mm,
well, but I think that for what I do, I am always like uploading information,
yeah.
you know, even when I don't know it. So now I try to be more deliberate about it, like when I'm on transit, I try not to be on my phone and to look out the window because amazing things happen out the window. And
Amazing good or amazing bad? You mean transit in
both,
Toronto?
both. Are you kidding? I mean, no, seriously though, when you're on transit, you actually have to start, you have to pay attention,
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
for your own good. And then at the same time, wonderful things happen, wonderful things that make you smile, funny things that make you laugh. I mean, it's just good to be paying attention. So yes, I would say definitely being amongst all those people when I was young and much more flexible and my joints didn't hurt.
Oh my God. Yes, Karen's a comedian. Yeah, that I sort of, yeah, you're a comedian. I feel like you are.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm just honest about
That
stuff.
is why you're on Schitt's Creek, my friend.
Really? You think so? I thought it was a good writing.
Okay, okay, it was everything. It was that show is classic. That show
Yeah.
is that show helped me through like the pandemic. That's all I gotta say. That show was it's so funny. Like we still quote it though. That's the funny thing. Like we
I
still
know.
like I don't even know how I stumbled on it because I my sister was watching it and then one day I said something. She's like, "Are you watching Schitt's Creek?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." Like I mean, I'm totally watching it. Like I mean, like it was just so funny, but it was smart funny. Like it just witty. You know what I mean? It was just like it's just like it was so now, like you know what I mean? Because you know when you watch shows and um it's so dated, right? But it
Yeah,
wasn't always dated. I felt like, this is how we talk, this is how we act, this is like, this I could see this happening right now. That's the funny thing. Like you can see those characters in real life, and
yeah,
that's what I liked about everybody.
yeah.
And
Even though there was a zaniness that accompanied it, I think that the brilliant thing about the show is that you could um, have a character like Moira who is, impossible.
yes,
Leave it
boy.
there. Impossible, but at the same time, so real. And that is down to writing, but that is also down to the absolute skill of, Catherine O'Hara. Like she's just, I don't know how she wrote that line so beautifully. And I could say that about all of the characters, right? And I think also the fact that, we were living through um, a pretty debilitating time. And I'm not only talking about the pandemic, I'm talking about what we seemed to be leaning into in terms of how we treated people who we deemed different.
Mhm.
And so the fact that that show was so rooted in uh, people's character as opposed to how they were different from each other. The
Mhm.
fact that David was gay, the fact that I was a lesbian, it wasn't even talked about. It was just normal in
Mhm.
small town anywhere in North America. It was just it just fed into everything. You loved who you loved, when you loved, how you loved, and everybody was more concerned about, what why you wearing a sweater in the middle of a field in the middle of the summer holding a pitchfork.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, then the fact that
Yeah.
he and Patrick fell in love. It was Yeah, it really gave a window onto who we could be as a society with all our foibles. The fact that base if you base what you do in love, then you're going to be all right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that show was awesome. Actually, speaking of the show, like I wanted to ask because I mean I watched SCTV back in the day. So then, how did it feel working with Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy? Like, how did that? Like, I mean, like I watched them on SCTV.
Will say that every day I walked onto that set and got to interact with those people who were so aptly and generously led by the likes of Eugene and Catherine, I felt monumentally blessed. I could not believe my life. It felt like being paid to go to school. It
Wow.
really did. It felt like I was in the presence of greatness, and that greatness came with such a collaborative attitude that yeah, I just felt like it was the best of everything, and and I just tried to stay in the moment and soak it up the best I could.
You definitely see that in the last episode. I felt
Hmm.
it. I don't know if you guys, if I mean, like, I
All
would never
those
know,
tears were
but
real.
yeah, I
All were
saw it. I
real.
could tell because I mean, not saying I know what fake tears look like. I mean, I don't, but I mean, like, there's something about the face. The face changes when it's a real
Hmm.
cry, and
Hmm.
everyone had that look on it. It
Hmm.
just looked like this is it. I mean, I loved it. We're saying goodbye. And it's saying goodbye to my family. That's what I
Hmm.
felt. I felt that's how you guys felt. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah, I
That's
was.
exactly how we felt. Just like snot and
Yeah, it was
and
real.
you couldn't talk and you
And especially your character though, right? Like I feel like because your character wasn't like not the most emotional. Not saying you were cold, but your character wasn't like everyone else, right? It was a
no.
little but then you kind of had your little breakdown type of thing, you know. You saw it in your face. You saw it.
I know. Yeah,
Well,
it was sad, but it was a good kind of sad because I felt like Dan and Eugene, they ended it on their own terms. They knew when they had told the story in its entirety. For now, maybe, I don't know. Dan says when there is another story to tell, he'll tell it. With those
yeah,
characters, he'll tell
yeah.
that story. But yeah, I was so focused as opposed to be, and I didn't have another job coming up, so it's not like I'm gonna be fine. But somehow my I knew that what how I had spent the last 6 years of my life, the place that this show had had in those 6 years was much more important than whatever I was projecting on
Wow.
following how many years. I was just so thankful that I had had this, and that was before we knew about any of the awards or the Emmys or that happened afterwards. We're like, oh, are we still doing this? Okay, because we were done filming already and it had aired in Canada. And
Oh.
we had all moved on, but it was the effect lingered and still lingers today. People like you still talk about it.
Oh yeah, because it became a part of our lives, right? Like I said, I watched it during the pandemic, after the pandemic. It's just and plus your characters are they're iconic. So there's
Mm.
certain things that we say is because of the characters, right? It's just because
Hmm.
we think of because we're just also and I say crazy, but crazy in a good way because I love crazy. So
Hmm.
I mean everyone is so eccentric. So it's just like how could I not embody that? How could I not
Yeah.
take from that? It's
Yeah.
part of us. I mean like there's so many things that we say and do based on the characters. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I always thought it was Johnny. I always thought it was him, just because he tries to like gather things, just kind of.
He's always trying to harness his family and talk sense
Yeah,
to them.
I feel
And
like
it
that.
just,
I always
poor
felt like
guy.
him. I love
Yeah.
Alexis. Like I love you all, but Alexis made me laugh because she was like, we see the how everyone changed. I love the
Yeah.
fact that all the characters kind of grew. Like you guys
Yeah.
all grew, right?
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. I like to see that in a show because
Hmm.
we're putting so much time invested in the show, and then you get so much out of it. So that's
Yeah.
what the TV show did,
Yeah.
for me. Actually, I'm speaking on my behalf. I'm like, that's what it did for me. I loved it. Like I'm,
Probably speaking for a lot of people. And it
yeah.
got them through the pandemic. I mean, timing was everything too, right? I mean, it was something that uh uh, in a world where we didn't know a lot about what was ordering our lives, we could retreat to the show and for a half hour or multiples of half hours, if
Hmm.
you decided that you wanted to just binge everything, um, you could escape, but it wasn't an escape that was I mean, if you wanted to escape to fantasy, that was fine, but it was something that people could connect to, and it was something positive that people could connect to. And I felt like because so many of us were watching it at the same time, it connected all of us when we couldn't meet up, we couldn't touch, we couldn't share food, we could, it was something that you could say, "Oh my God, did you watch?"
And it's just
You
funny
know?
too, right? And I think when you laugh, you feel so much better. Like, because it
Yeah.
was so funny. Like, actually,
Mhm.
when we were talking, and I just had scenes in my head. I just thought of certain episodes, and I'm like, man, that stuff is funny. Like,
It
it
was
really is
funny.
funny, and you need that. It makes you feel better. So
So
so thank you
funny.
guys
Yeah.
for that, honestly.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're
So
welcome.
you're on another show that I tweeted about and I talked about, Law and
Which
Order,
one?
Law and
Oh
Order.
yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah.
No,
That
because
that's
the
still
first
going.
episode, I swear to
Mhm.
God, I felt like the episode didn't air yet, but I'm like, I'm watching it. It's in Toronto. I'm watching it. So from that day, I just kept tweeting. Like for the first season, for the second season, I watched it, but I couldn't tweet live like in real time just because I have a part-time job. So I was
Mhm.
working. So but yeah, the first year, if you okay, not saying you're gonna do deep dive in the tweets, but yeah, I was right there. I'm like, I'm watching. You guys know it's Thursday. I'm watching. Like
Thank you for that.
I was looking so forward to it because I love Toronto, and then it delivered. See, the thing
Yeah.
is, and I didn't want it to not deliver, but it delivered. It just, I was happy. I was like in it, like I was just watching, and I'm like, the writing is amazing, the
Mhm.
acting is amazing. Like I am a
And
fan.
it's
Like I
us.
watch it.
It's us. You see our locations and you see, and you hear our accents and you see our foods and
Yeah.
it's so Toronto. It's
It's the
so
neighborhoods
yeah.
when you see the neighborhoods that you've been in.
Yeah.
There's one near oh my gosh, there's so many that I'm like, oh my God, I've been there, or I can hear,
Yeah.
it's so it's so cool,
Yeah,
like
it's
I
really
like
cool.
that. It just
Mhm.
I don't know. Oh, speaking of, so I realized there was a Schitt's Creek Law and Order mashup. Who was on the first year? Do you remember? Okay, okay, so it was
Oh, Tim Rose on.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tim
it
Rose
was
on.
yeah,
What was it? Mutt.
yeah, Mutt. It was
Yes.
Mutt. Sorry.
Yes.
That's two worlds coming together.
I
Wow.
know.
That's
I
awesome.
know. I know. Well, it was bound to happen. I mean, eventually, I mean, if they can get them, I'm sure that, they'd love to have just about everybody from, because, um, the Schitt's Creek cast, as with the Law and Order cast, are a talented bunch of
Yeah.
people,
Yeah, you guys are.
and
Yeah.
all Canadians. So by all means, yeah, if you can get them on,
It is a good
let's
show
do
though. I
that.
mean, I gotta give you guys your due. Like it is like a it's just it's the twist, it's the acting, it's just the scenery, like it's everything because I'm into that. Like I mean, I'm not in film and not in TV, but I like to watch really good qualities things, and it's really
Hmm.
good qualities. It's just like
Hmm.
you watch it and like you're in it. You're like in the show. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're just so absorbed. So
So
thank
do
you for
you
that.
do that thing though where you try to figure out who did it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah? Okay.
Course, because the thing is, okay, so the thing is, I try to, but then also you guys kind of guide us. We're on like a little bit of a like a roller coaster, right? Like, because
Mhm.
I like the twist. The twist is always when I'm like, oh my God, really? That's what happened? You know what I mean? I like
Mm.
that. That's what makes me
Mm.
feel happy. But it's just like, it's just so everything is just so oh my God, it's like it's choreographed. It's just so choreographed in my eyes. Like when you watch it, it's just like you just give us a little bit of crumbs and you're going over here and then a little bit over here, over here. It's just so much. And then you get to the end and like, oh my God. It's a
Yeah.
wild ride for me. It's a
Yeah, well, it's definitely a tried and true formula. Dick Wolf definitely knew what he was doing
mm,
when he
yeah.
created that template, and it has worked in all its different iterations for over 30 years. So, yeah, the fact that it's still working, that people are still into it, I was surprised to find out like how many people are like, oh my God, I love Law and Order. I watch all Law and Orders. I love that. There was one in Toronto. Like people are crazy for Law and Order. And I also thought it was a good show, but people are like dedicated.
Yeah.
They're
They
dedicated to.
are. I mean, I will say I'm watching Toronto because I'm
Yeah.
from Toronto. I like it because I like to see where you guys shoot. I think that's what the fun thing for me. I like to see where you shoot. Like if I can identify something. I love the fact that we hear the words like TMU in there. We hear like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. It's so Canadian. It's so Toronto. I should say that it
So
just makes me like, oh my God, I know that place. So for me, it's just
yeah.
selfish because
Yeah.
I know I could have been there or something like that. You know. I
Yeah.
like that. I
And
like.
I would even go as far to say that, I mean, by no means do I think that Toronto is Canada, but we're in Canada, and therefore it is really Canadian because people all across the country are watching.
Yeah.
People all across the country are
Yeah.
owning it. They're like, this is us. This is part of us.
Oh, that's
So
nice. That's
that's
nice.
pretty great.
Oh my gosh. So okay, so we're talking about Toronto. What's your favorite thing about Toronto then? Because you said you were not born here. You were born, was it UK, then you went to Jamaica, then Toronto?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah.
Alberta, sorry.
And then Alberta, then Toronto. I've moved around a lot.
That's nice.
What is my favorite thing about Toronto? It's that it's a walking city. I
Mm.
was actually thinking about this earlier today. I don't know why. It was something about, having to have a car. Yeah, that's it. Having to have a car in certain places, in certain locales. And I thought to myself, nah, that's not for me. That's not for me. I don't think I ever want to live anywhere where I'm not able to walk or take transit or bike where I need to go.
Mm.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
love a car. I love a car when I need a car, mind you. No, I have nothing against cars except, the obvious environmental impact that we have to do something about.
That's so
Um,
that's nice.
but yeah, I love that it's a walking city. I love that it's a city of neighborhoods.
Okay.
I love that when I first moved here, I think I was living in like the St. Clair and Bathurst area.
Mm.
And I love that I could get a patty, a cocoa bread, and a ting just about on any street corner. Like
You know
love
what? That's
that.
true. But that's Toronto though. I feel like you get that anywhere. Like I know, okay,
Yeah,
where I live, you could definitely get that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, like that's the cool thing about Toronto.
That's
Toronto
the
is
cool thing
just
about
so
Toronto.
much culture and food, and I love
Hmm.
it all. I love all of
Hmm.
that. That's where we met. That's where
Oh yeah, we met over food, right?
yes, and
Yeah, yeah.
you had your first doubles.
My first double. Don't put that out into the world, girl. I don't know how it escaped me for that long.
That
But
was
yeah,
it's good, eh? It's good. Oh, it's good, eh?
it
I'm so
is.
Canadian. Nice.
Yeah, yeah. It is the food of the gods. It
It is.
really.
However, I
Mhm.
realized you were just in Trinidad. Were you just in Trinidad, or was it a while
Mhm.
ago?
I was just in Trinidad up till the end of September. I was only there for like 4 days, but yeah, I was in Trinidad 2 weeks ago now. Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Mm. Did you
And the
have?
first thing I did
Mhm.
when I got off the plane was go eat a doubles. And the last thing I did before I got back on the plane was eat a doubles.
You're a fan. You're a fan.
And in the middle of all of that, I did have more doubles. And I
Wow.
also had the best lobster roti. Well, I can't even say it's the best lobster roti because I've never had a lobster
I
roti
never had that
before.
either.
But oh my God. Okay, so this wonderful woman who is like I just doffed my hat to her. She drove to this like some location in Santa Cruz or something, and that's where you can get lobster. And she brought back
Wow.
this deliciousness, 2 pounds of ambrosia on so many levels. It was one of the best things that I've ever eaten in my
My
life.
God.
In the
Wow.
middle of all of that, I had a lobster roti. I had Trinidadian friends, but yeah, going down there and eating it from there and
Yeah.
having the doubles experience on the stall by the side of the road, the guy who
Wow.
up at 12:30 in the morning, that kind of experience. Yeah, that was a whole different level of Trinidadian food. Like, I don't have a particularly refined palate. And I was just like, oh no, I don't want that. I want this. I was like, just give me everything. I want that whole experience.
That's
And
funny.
yeah, and it was worth it. It
You sound
was.
like a foodie. You sound like a foodie. Like, do you
I'm not though. I'm not. I'm not. I like food and I like being fed, but I wouldn't say that I'm a foodie.
food
I
is a
just
good thing. There's
like
nothing wrong with a food. Food is a person who appreciates food. Because before I didn't think I was a foodie until one of my jobs. Because I'm like, oh my God, I love this. Because I love food. And I remember
yeah,
I was in my job and my friend's like, "You're such a foodie." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I don't like gourmet food." But she's like, "That's not what a foodie is. A foodie is a
it isn't.
person who no, a foodie
Somebody
is a
should tell foodies.
foodie is a person that actually just appreciates food and loves it. Like for me, I take it one step further because even though I love food to eat or whatever, I like watching Food Network. I don't mind cooking or baking, and I just like being around like people who are like I don't mind feeding people, and I like to talk about food. So that makes me a foodie. But yeah, like
Yeah.
I appreciate food. I eat anything. I don't really.
I I'm sorry, I cut you off. I shouldn't
No,
have.
no, no.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say I eat anything. I don't really discriminate. Like I just, I there's a few things I'm not a fan of. But
It
so then, why did you go to the Premium Street Festival? I mean, I was so curious. Like, why did you end up
was a
going there?
Caribbean street food festival, like walking.
Okay,
Of course, I'm
okay.
gonna go. I think that's why I went. I was like, what? Yeah, that had never happened before, and it was a lovely Sunday afternoon, and I
Yeah,
met you, so that's why I
yeah. You
went.
were so loved. Okay, honestly, that's why I want to say thank you because you're so chatty. By the way, you're such a chatty person. I kind of like that. I really, really like that about you. Because so I'll tell you what happened. Like I was sitting down eating whatever I was eating, and then I got up and I saw you. I'm like, oh my God. That was it. Like I really had a moment. I'm like, do I sit here and just pretend she's not there, or do I go up and talk to her? And I'm like, girl, you go up and talk to her. You go up and you were so nice because I was scared. I'm always scared when you approach people because you don't know what you're gonna
You
get.
don't know.
And rightly so, it's your time. But you're so nice, and then also very chatty.
And I'm
You're a
chatty.
chatty girl. I'm not gonna lie. I like that about you. Like you, like, because we
Aw.
were sat there and even that person that was listening, and they're like, "Do you remember that guy said to you? Are you on the telly? Do you remember that guy
Yeah,
said
yeah,
that to
yeah.
you?"
The
I'm like,
Brit.
"Oh
Yeah.
my God!" Like, yeah, I'm like you are. We know you. You are known. Like
Yeah,
that's why I was like,
I've sort of realized that over the past few years. I was like, oh, Karen, okay, you know that thing that you do with that, well, that some of us do where you're eating a bag of chips on the subway and you get down to the last crumbs and you turn the bag of chips to your head and get out the last crumb. I can't do that anymore.
"Oh my." Yeah, you
Somebody's gonna
can't.
take a
Well,
picture.
that would actually make me love you more. And people probably would love you more for seeing that because we're like, man, she's keeping it real. She is so right. Because, first of all, you hit one of my favorite things ever. I love chips. So you mentioned chips. So if I saw you do that, I would be like, I love you so much.
Oh,
Like, yeah, because why wouldn't I? Like, I don't know. I like people who do real things because you
mm,
are real, right? And you
mm.
clearly are a real human being. Even though you have all these accolades, you have all these awards, you're on these amazing shows. You have like this wealth, like your work it speaks for itself, right? Because remember that guy that was telling you every single show that he's watched that you've been
Oh
on.
my God, yes.
He was awesome. He was
Oh
so
my
because he was that's
God.
that guy's a major fan because
Wow.
he listed at least 5 shows.
I know.
I was just like, should I
I
leave?
know.
I'm like, should you want to see him?
Oh,
He was amazing. That
I
guy was
know.
so good. Like I was
Yeah.
just like I was really impressed. I was I'm like, wow, that goes
Yeah.
deep. That's when
Yeah.
you touch people. That's so good. You
That
really touch
it's
them.
really lovely, right? Because people don't have to let you into their homes, they don't have to let you into their hearts. They don't have to do none of that stuff. So the fact that that people actually are paying attention I don't take that lightly. My father used to say something like, I remember that when you're going out there, you're representing the race. Now listen, I don't want to take all that on my head, right? Like I'm like I don't think that I as one person can represent an entire race of people, and and so he and I could have taken a deep dive into that, but that never happened. Sometimes when your parents say stuff like that, you just say yes, daddy, and you move on.
Mm.
But um, but what I realize more and more um is that my journey, it embodies at least some people's dreams, right? People see me and think, well, first of all, she represents us, but then second of all, if she did it, I can do it too.
The inspiration. Oh, inspirational.
And yeah, and so to a certain extent, my father was right because you don't want to go out there and act just any way. And that doesn't mean, but I'm not talking about, the characters that I play because I actually want to play everybody because I think we all embody multitudes. And so I am happy to explore all of that. But yeah, there is something about people seeing themselves in you, seeing possibility in you that is kind of it's daunting and it's humbling and I get a little nervous about it and then I just go about my business and hope I'm doing right by them.
You are, you definitely are. So we thank
Mm.
you. I thank you for everybody. So the race, we thank you.
Grace thanks me.
Oh my God. Oh my
Oh,
God.
that's funny.
Is there like okay? So we see that Law and Order is on not hiatus right now. When does it come back? When are new shows gonna be?
We air season 3 starting in February.
Oh, February.
It's
Okay,
going to be
cool.
interesting because I also shot another thing called which is the Ben Jonson story. It's called Keep It Clear. And
Ah,
as far as I understand, that also airs in February. So that's going to be an interesting.
but is that just is it a movie or is it a short? Like, is it
It's a
like
series. It's actually a
oh,
series. Yeah, it's a limited series, but it is a series. So both of those are coming up in February, and we're still, we finished shooting season 3 of Law and Order.
is there anything else that you like any projects you're currently working on? Or
My life, my life, and yeah, I'm meeting with people and you read scripts and there's all of that sort of thing. And in the meantime, I love my life. I was able to go to Trinidad for the
yeah,
Trinidad Tobago Film Festival, which was fabulous. I got to teach a workshop to 16 amazing younger than me people people
nice.
down there. And yeah, and I'm seeing a ton of theater. There's theater in my neighborhood. There's theater that I go to with my boyfriend. There's theater that I go to with my neighbors. Yeah, I see a lot of theater, and and family. My family is we're in a particular place right now because we were made orphans in August. So
What?
4 of us kids, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm
Those
sorry.
people are now reunited.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry to
And
hear that. Sorry.
yeah,
Okay.
so we're now navigating this new territory of taking care of each other, and that takes time. So I'm putting time into that.
Hmm. I
Mm.
know. Family takes its twists and turns,
Oh,
and it is all about navigating. I totally
mhm,
understand. I
mhm,
completely understand that. So,
mhm.
yeah. But
Yeah.
that is it. I just wanted to thank you so much. Thank you for sitting with me.
Oh, you're
I mean,
welcome.
in both occasions, then and now. Seriously. Thanks for
You
eating
are
with me. I
welcome.
watched you eat the doubles, wanting that doubles. Yeah, now I want one. I feel like I'm gonna have to go and get one. There's
Wow.
a place across the street that I may have to go to get one.
There you
So,
go.
but anyways, but thank you so much, Karen. This was such a pleasure, and yeah, thank you so much.
You're
So,
very welcome. Thank you for having
no
me.
problem. No, you
Thanks for watching the video. It was my pleasure in sharing it with you. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.